Hello, and thank you for joining us. So, I am Luna Bloomer, the founder of Vegan Bloomers, and I have here a new star vegan called, is it Arnie?
Yeah.
Arnie. So, let's give a big warm welcome to Arnie. Thank you for joining us, Arnie.
No, it's great. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So let's get started, and we will begin with where you're based, how old you are, and if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I live in Luton. I'm 34 years old. I'm passionate vegan, and I'm gluten-free as well, which makes it even more challenging sometimes. I'm an osteopath and a physiotherapist as well.
Wow.
So I treat patients with all kinds of problems. I work part-time in the NHS, seeing patients as a physiotherapist with NHS patients for Virgin Care Luton. And I work part-time as an osteopath at the Stevenage Osteopathic Clinic in Stevenage.
Wow, so you've got a lot going on then, haven't you?
Yeah, and then I'm trying to set up my own thing very, very soon. That's in the midst of setting up very soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So what about your hobbies? Have you got any hobbies?
So hobbies wise, I love walking in nature. I like helping people. I think for some reason I managed to always my spare time is somehow filled with well-being groups. So I run a women's well-being group.
Oh, amazing.
On Zoom, like regularly. And then we did have like a youth one, but at the moment, I think it was more popular during like the pandemic. Now that everyone's busy again, it's not as, but I'm passionate about mental health as well and well-being, partly because of, maybe because partly due to losing my brother to suicide maybe about 11 years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I'm really passionate about mental health and how it's so important that we need to look after ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's me, I guess, mainly.
That's amazing. It sounds like we got loads in common then, because I too am very passionate about mental health and I love walking as well. So yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Tell us about your vegan journey. So when did you begin, and what was it that got you to transition over to the vegan side?
I think initially it was due to I had eczema on my eyelids. I was vegetarian. My parents brought me up as a vegetarian since the day I was born. And then I developed this severe eczema in probably final year of uni when I was studying osteopathy, and that was about 2009. And then I think it was 2010 when I lost my brother. It got worse, rubbing, and then I thought, I looked at diet and lifestyle, and then I thought maybe I should cut out dairy. So I started off cutting it out, and I thought it improved my skin a lot, and it helped clear it, because I used to look like I had two black eyes. It was so bad.
Oh, bless you.
And it was really quite irritating. And then so I cut it out, but then without realizing, I'd cut a lot of gluten out as well. So I cut out like pizza, pasta, because most of those things are associated with cheese.
Yeah.
And then when I did that, I realized I was intolerant to gluten. So when I started having gluten, I severely reacted, which is really bizarre. But I hadn't had a reaction, but I think I started becoming a vegan, when was it? 2013, I think it was. I started to transition. And then you went through these phases where family were putting pressure. No, eat. What are you doing? You're not eating. You should eat this. You know what I mean? And then, you feel like, shouldn't I? And then there was this stage where, because I used to love pizza so much, there's this stage where just, family was like, just eat it. And I ate it. And then I felt so sick because I'd trained my mind to not have it. And then when I had it, I felt sick of the thought of that I've actually eaten it and it was in my system. But I did used to watch all the videos to help me stop eating dairy. And now I've completely transitioned. So my shampoo's vegan, my conditioner, my hair product for my hair oil is vegan as well now.
Brilliant.
So slowly, and my shoes, I bought loads of vegan shoes recently. That's like a new thing for me. I was like, I found loads recently in one of these stores, and I was trying to find vegan shoes in the normal kind of trainer shops, and you can't find it. And then there was this one shop that I found, and then I bought 2 pairs recently, and it was quite exciting because it was like, oh, vegan shoes.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So I do get excited. And one of my cousins has recently become vegan as well. And he's always messaging me when there's a new chocolate out, like the Kit Kat or something else. And then, different things.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So you've got some support then from your family. Yeah. So that's good. So would you say that pizza was the thing for you that you struggled to give up most? Or was it something else?
Probably pizza for the dairy side of things. But then I found alternatives, and then I realized I like pizza without cheese.
Okay.
So it's even the vegan. I mean, sometimes I might have a craving for vegan cheese, and then I'll go and have the vegan cheese sandwiches sometimes, or that's like a craving, or pizza. But you can get around it, and it's not a problem at all now. And normally, if I go out and have pizza now, I choose the gluten-free base, and then I just normally have chili oil, and then and the veg, and I don't need even. Sometimes I don't even like having the vegan cheese. It's
that's really interesting.
Yeah. So I kind of transitioned. I don't know what's happened.
So because I know I went gluten-free for a little while, and it was quite difficult, but now I'm like really hyper vigilant to finding stuff that's, even though I'm not gluten-free anymore, it's something I'm always on the lookout for, just to to help people that are, because I know it's difficult. So what would you say, what's the best gluten-free pizza there is out there in your opinion?
Oh, you mean for eating out,
or that you can buy, or both?
Okay, so I like what's it called, is it Whole Earth? They have it in Sainsbury's, in the frozen section. I think they have that's good. The tomato and basil one is good. Then there's the White Rabbit, have a few vegan gluten-free options that are quite nice.
Yeah.
And then if you're going out, I like Ask Italian, have good options for vegan and gluten-free, and so do Pizza Express.
Oh, okay.
I've also seen that Prezzo have it, but I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, okay. So that's the next one.
No, just because I'm pizza. I like pizza. But then you can make your own.
That's true.
And then with your, make it with the base. I normally buy the, what's it called? Schlar. Is that how I said it right? Schlar. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. That base is good to make pizza on, and just load it with loads of veggies.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't even know that Schlar had a pizza base, so that's good to know, actually. I have to keep an eye out for that, see if I can find it.
I'm sure it was that one. I think it is that. Or is it Be-Free? I might be getting mixed up. Be-Free do good bases as well.
Okay, all right.
I might have got mixed up. But I think they both do.
Either way, you never know.
I think they both do. Okay, yeah.
That's good to know. So thanks for sharing. So next question. What is it as a vegan that you miss the most?
I'm not. Oh, maybe it's we have this traditional dish called milk, like payasam. I haven't found an alternative for that yet.
What is that?
So basically, it's made of semolina, and it's like a nice pudding type thing, but it's gluten again. And I haven't found, but you use coconut milk for it. Actually, you can make it with coconut milk. There's no big ones, I'd say. Most of the things I've managed to alternate or find something else to have. Even vegan chocolate is still good. There's good ones out there now.
Yeah, I found one recently called Hip chocolate, and it's like, it is the best. Like, and it's plastic free as well, which I love.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, that's the best for me.
Okay.
What's your favorite chocolate, vegan chocolate?
I think it's probably Vigo or Rhythm 108. I like both of them. I do like Vigo. I And my local co-op has it now. So when I have a craving, I can just
brilliant.
walk and get it.
That's
So
awesome.
so it's good.
Love when that happens. I went to a news agents around the corner the other day, and I just discovered, like, you know, Kinder Buenos.
Yeah.
They've got a version. I can't remember. I think it's called Raw, and they've got a version of that. And I just bought it online from the vegan supermarket. And like a week later, I walked into this news agent, and they had it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they have that. Like, it was just the most random thing ever. But I was like, this is amazing, because now I don't have to do it online. I can just go there and get it. So
Yeah.
I was well happy.
Oh.
So how would you say that veganism has impacted your life?
I think it's made me more health conscious, and really conscious about everything I do in life, kind of thing. Because I think being a vegan is about being a conscious individual, because you're thinking about what you put in your mouth. And if you have control over that, you can control that in any aspect of your life. That's what I found. So it's about having mind control. And it's really quite powerful, actually. And I think since I became vegan, I've transitioned in a lot of ways, in many other ways. And like, I think, it's really been quite a huge change in my life. And I think family have started following as well. Like, my parents have started being like, oh, let's use the vegan milks and things. And they've tried to always, if they cook for me, they try to make it vegan as well. So they're thinking about, and my sister's vegan as well.
Oh, that's good.
So there is a bit of a transition. I haven't quite got my husband to be vegan, but in the house, we don't have anything non-vegan because I do the shopping most of the time, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Which is always good. I think, so it's good.
So how did your husband react when you decided you were going to go vegan?
I think it was hard in the beginning because he didn't quite understand, but then now he understands that I'm doing it for my health and how it's really good for me. And after I got married, I probably lost quite a few kilos. Because if you look at my wedding photos and compared to now, I think I'm smaller than I was for my wedding. Yeah, and it's coming to 10 years since I got married. So I lost weight through the process as well, but in a healthy way, not... But I've got to admit, there was a time when it was incredibly challenging because I was vitamin D deficient once. And then I had to really, and then I had to be a bit careful about how I balance the diet. And then I had to really make sure that I was having my supplements as well for vitamin D and things to help. And just be conscious about what I'm eating and making sure that it's well balanced and not eating one or two. Do you know what I mean? Like one or two things. Make sure that you have a variety so that you're not lacking in any nutrients or micronutrients and stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. So, other than pizza, what is it that you love to eat as a vegan?
Oh, what do I love? I love my husband's cooking. He makes really good vegan curry. He makes good curry. Like last night, when did he made me this soya curry. He made it with fresh coconut milk. So he got the coconut, he cracked it, and then he what do you call it? What's the word for that? When you use the coconut. So he created the coconut shavings. He have a machine that does that.
Oh, awesome.
And then he used that, and then he mixed it with water, and then he just squeezed it, and it just made it so much nicer.
Oh, that's
like a coconut milk soya curry with tomatoes. It was so yummy.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
And he made me vegan gluten-free roti as well. So that's like a flatbread, and he made it with the gluten-free flour, and he put a little bit of onions and chilies inside, and it was proper yummy.
Oh, how lovely. So does your husband do most of the cooking then?
No, it's normally me, but he takes over in the weekend.
Oh, nice. Wait, so you got a good balance going on.
Yeah,
that's nice to hear. That's rare. That's amazing. Oh,
yeah.
So, have you ever been involved in any activism?
Activism?
Yeah.
What in terms of vegan activism?
Yeah.
Not direct. I wouldn't say I have done. I've been quite. I should really, but I think it's this confidence thing. I'm going to be honest. There was this time once when I was bullied for being vegan. I moved to Leeds for about 6 months, and the house I was living in, I got bullied in for being vegan, and they'd pick on me for eating tomatoes and mushrooms, and it was all kind of, it just went overkill. And I probably felt like I'm not so outspoken. I mean, I put my foods on my Instagram page. I put that what I eat, and I post the foods, but I don't often say, oh, you need to become a vegan. I don't often do that, because I think it really has to come from the person themselves to make that change. So I'm not heavily involved, but I think one of my cousins is always at me like, oh, you should make your hubby vegan. And then I'm like, oh, he's almost there. I mean, in the house, there's nothing here anyway that he can have. So, I mean, my husband says, I'm like 99, 95% vegan anyway, because I live with you. And I'm like, okay. But I mean, that would be the next step. I did say to him, I guess it starts with us and the home that we live in. And if it was in terms of activism, I wouldn't go and do it. I think the first stage is, in your home, can you be completely vegan? So I always say to him, if I have kids, I'd like to have a vegan household. So I'd like him to change into vegan. And he says that he would, because that's quite meaningful for me. That
yeah,
it'd be quite nice.
I'm 100% with you there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's it. So it would be really nice to, and I did get a couple of vegan patients. That's quite exciting.
Oh, awesome.
You know, when you get excited. And then I came across once, quite a few, maybe a year or two ago, somebody who said they had a daughter who was in their mid-20s who was born vegan. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool, and you hear stories like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so when you hear stories like that, it kind of encourages you, and it makes you feel like, yeah, you can bring up kids vegan if you want to, and do it the right way, and, make sure you have all the right alternatives. It is possible.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. So last question then.
Yeah.
For anybody that's watching that's not vegan yet, what is one piece of advice that you would give them to help them to transition?
I think the main thing is you've got to be kind to yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself. And it's one step at a time. It's not, when you make that transition, it's not, I'm vegan, oh no, and then you accidentally eat something. Sometimes it happens, but that's all a learning process. So when something like that happens, if you didn't read the label properly at the shop, and or a family member has bought you something thinking that it was vegan, and straight away that's got egg in it or something, and then, or it says free from this, and then something is hidden there, and then,
oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, and then you feel like, you get so annoyed, and it's like, you shouldn't really get annoyed, but it's a learning process, and then you're more careful, and then you don't do it again, and that's what it's about. It's about learning, and in that process, it's just one step at a time, and I don't think anyone can just make that flip immediately, be like, I'm vegan completely, because there's things in our environment that we don't even know that isn't. You might have a handbag from a friend that somebody bought you that's leather.
Yep.
And then you're like, what do I do with that now? There's so many questions you can ask. Do I get rid of it? I've had it for years. There's so many little aspects like that. The furniture in your house, you can look into it in so many ways, and your coat, your jacket, there's hidden things everywhere.
Yeah.
The toothpaste you use, the washing products you use. So when you look at it, it's like it's so vast. So the main thing is, I think, take it one step at a time. Be kind to yourself, and it's a learning process.
Absolutely. So, as a random add-on, because you're gluten-free, what advice would you give to anybody that's gluten-free?
Oh, in terms of, I guess, just be careful that you don't accidentally eat something, because you could end up having tummy problems as a result, and just be aware that there are some people, like family members, or when you go somewhere, who would adamantly say that's gluten-free, and it won't be sometimes. So you just have to be, or you go to a restaurant and they make a mistake because they don't understand. But that same thing could happen if you're vegan. You know, things happen, and then you're like, so it's again, you know, just being careful and knowing how, you know, because I think there was a stage when I used to love samosas, and I haven't managed to have samosas for a while. But I've recently seen that I think one of the stores have got introduced vegan gluten-free samosas.
Yeah, I think M&S do gluten-free.
Yeah, it's M&S. Yeah. So, but I'm trying to. I saw somebody had put on one of the groups that they made their own with the just rolled puff pastry gluten-free. So that's quite looks exciting. But yeah, so it would be good to make things from scratch. That's where you know for certain that you're eating the right thing and you're not going to end up having an upset stomach or problem, you know, with diarrhea or constipation or whatever it is as a result of accidentally eating something. So I guess the one thing I've learned in the pandemic is if you eat your food at home, you're less likely to have cross-contamination and any problems. But I used to have skin issues for if I had gluten by accident. And I noticed that during the lockdown, my skin issues completely cleared.
Wow, amazing.
And then now that since we're opening up again and we're eating out, I think I've had slight changes in my skin. But it goes to show that if we eat the food, if we know what we're eating and we take care of what we're eating and we're careful, you know, it's much better for our health in the long run.
Definitely. Is there a specific supermarket that you would suggest is the easiest place for like gluten-free people, or do you have to shop around?
I think most, if not all, have choice now. I think Asda is a huge range, Tesco's have a huge range, and Sainsbury's. But my local and my favorite is Sainsbury's because they have a huge gluten-free and vegan kind of section, and it's growing in size. You know, but I do like health shops, quirky health shops as well. So if you've got a local health shop, support them, you know, rather than the big supermarket, because they're making a stand on their own just for vegan and gluten-free, and they're pushing it. So if you have a local health shop, it's great to help them out rather than the larger.
Definitely.
Supermarket. Yeah.
I'm all for supporting your locals as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it's good advice.
Yeah.
So that is it for our interview. So before we say goodbye, if people watching would like to get in touch with you, how can they reach you?
I guess you could reach me through my email address, or I mean, at the moment my Instagram and my Facebook is I should really open it up, then people can reach me. But I've started a page called Lotus Practice, but it's in development. So if you can find me on Instagram, it's called Lotus Practice, or it's RNE5 on Instagram if you want to follow me. And then on Facebook, it's RNE Navaratnam. And I guess if you want to contact me, best email contact is is A for Apple, R for Romeo, A for Apple, N for November, E for Echo, N for November, A for Apple, V for Victor, A for Apple @gmail.com. I think that's the best contact.
Okay, fabulous, brilliant, and I will add all those in the description of this YouTube video as well. So
that's fine.
If anyone forgets, that's where it'll be.
Yeah.
So again, thank you so much for allowing me to interview. I've enjoyed getting to know you, and it's been wonderful to connect.
No, thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. I hope you've gained some insight. And if you're a vegan yourself and you would like to be our next star vegan, then please contact me. You can find me on Facebook, Luna Bloomer, or you can email me on veganbloomers@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing you, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye, much love.